Chapter 2, Mount Olympus. "Come on, Wonder Boy," Phil said, rushing Hector up from the kitchen table the second Dad declared homeschooling finally over. "We gotta hit the field. This is crunch time." Hector, Luca, and Juan had just finished a lesson on fractions. Hector despised fractions. Math class was his least favorite subject by far, but he still wished that the lesson wasn't over, or that there were some way to delay the inevitable torture that awaited him at the field. "Yeah, boy, it's crunch time," Juan teased, getting up to give Hector a noogie. "Have fun." "Better you than me," added Luca. He and Juan ran to the living room to play video games until it was time to head over to the store. They spent every free minute on video games. Excitedly, Phil grabbed his clipboard, where he meticulously recorded all of Hector's race times. He took his job of coaching his little brother seriously. The times had decreased steadily with each week of intensive training leading up to the big race. Thanks to Phil's rigorous coaching and Hector's efforts, Phil peered back at Hector impatiently when he didn't budge from the table. He tapped his clipboard and checked his digital watch. 4 hours until sunset means 4 hours left to train. Hector repeated the familiar mantra, his stomach lurching in response. Slowly, even hesitantly, he stood up from the table, which was piled with computers, the remains of snacks, workbooks, and crumbled homework. It was like his whole body was rebelling against the idea of training today. Meanwhile, oblivious to Hector's dread, Luca and Juan scrambled over the PlayStation. "Hey, I go first," Juan said, leaping onto the sofa and grabbing for the controller. His straight brown hair was clipped into a bowl cut. It flopped in his brown eyes. Hector envied Juan's style. His own hair would never fall that straight. "No, my turn," Luca added, shoving his brother out of the way. Luca's hair was styled into a spiky buzz cut with lines carved into the sides like lightning bolts. He liked to call himself Lightning Luca, even though he'd never been that fast. "You went first yesterday," Juan whined, trying to swipe the controller back. "It's not fair. We have to trade off." "That's because I'm older," Luca said, snagging the controller back from Juan. He held it up over his younger brother's head, just out of his reach. "Boys, settle down," Dad shouted as he started cleaning up the kitchen table and clearing away the books. "Or nobody goes first anywhere, except to their bedrooms to be grounded." Dad chuckled at his own joke, his ample belly shaking. Even though he wasn't in shape the way he used to be when he was Hector's age, the pictures from when he was young looked so much like Hector it was almost eerie. Dad loved regaling them with stories about his glory days, of racing, especially over loud, boisterous family dinners. His year to race, he came in 4th place, right behind their mother, who took 3rd place. They both had been so close but so far at the same time. "Take that, Seuss," Luca yelled at the television. He and Juan were playing some new fantasy game featuring the Greek gods. They were totally obsessed with it lately. "I'm so gonna take over Mount Olympus." No matter what they were doing, everyone in the Gomez family was competitive. Hector jealously watched Juan and Luca jamming at the PlayStation controller. His stomach churned. He wished he could just go in there and join them, or do what he really wanted to do. Wander around outside and snap pictures of landscapes or animals or just about anything. "Can't I play hooky just this once?" Hector pleaded with Phil, feeling the words slick to his tongue, which felt thick to his mouth. "Magic hour is around sunset. It's the best time to take pictures, but I always miss it." Phil cut him off. "Heroes don't play hooky. You want to win that cup, don't you? You could take pictures another time. We can't afford to slack off right now." "But please, just one day," Hector said, almost swallowing the words. "I promise I'll train extra hard tomorrow." Dad looked over and met his eyes. "Son, I know it's almost time for the big race. Trust me, I've been there, standing right in your big shoes. It can feel scary, but you know how much this means to our family, right? That's right. We deserve to win that cup, Phil said, piling onto the guilt trip. Yep, and this is our last chance, Dad added, clapping Hector on the shoulder. You might be the youngest Gomez, but you're the fastest and strongest. This is our year to win it. They looked expectantly at Hector, the desire for the Zeus Cup clearly shone in their eyes. It was true. He was their last chance. Hector did know how much this meant to them. It had been drilled into his head since he was a baby, maybe even since before he was born. There was no avoiding his fate, or fates, as the Greek gods called them. Of course, Hector forced himself to say. It was pointless to argue. The prelim race is in 2 days, Wonder Boy, Phil said, tapping his clipboard. You have to have a solid finish to even qualify for a slot in the big one. We don't have any time to waste, especially taking boring pictures of lame nature stuff. Yeah, okay. They don't understand me, Hector thought glumly as he slunk off to his bedroom to grab his athletic bag and running shoes. They don't even bother to try. He eyed the camera sticking out of its bag, then reached for it and picked it up.